Jaguar and football fans, we are gathered here today to celebrate the love between the Jacksonville Jaguars and trading their own players for other teams' sixth-round picks. This is a beautiful marriage that we've seen blossoming, whether it be Calais Campbell to now James Robinson. The Jaguars sent off James Robinson on Monday night to the New York Jets for a conditional sixth-round pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Now this is a conditional pick that can become up to a fifth-round pick if James Robinson does hit 600 rushing yards here in 2022. Now, James Robinson has already reached over half of that thus far through 7 games. He has 340 thus far. And, he only needs 260 more yards to have that pick be elevated. You're talking about the Jets having 10 games remaining left on their schedule. So that means James Robinson would only need 26 yards a game to hit this mark. Now, use his average for this season thus far, 4.2 yards. The Jets have 10 games left. That means James Robinson would really only need to touch the ball 6 carries a game if you use his average to have this pick be upgraded. James Robinson was carrying the ball 10 times. I think it was like an average of per game here in 2022. So six carries should be easy for him. He's going to be the bell cow up in New York. I'm very excited to see this pick be elevated because it should be elevated. Now, James Robinson's career at Jacksonville was a very, very weird one, in my opinion. Now, first of all, he was the undrafted free agent. He was one of Tony Khan's analytic guys that was just a really good undrafted free agent. And then ultimately unseats Leonard Fournette as the starting running back for the Jaguars in 2020. Goes for 1,000+ yards. And then really going into 2021 with Urban Meyer, it was the question of what is he going to be like Travis Etienne now in the fold? How is he going to play behind Trevor Lawrence? What are all these questions going to be? And then it just seemed like he just suffered behind Urban Meyer's incompetence. Etienne got hurt, so we never got to see that. And then Carlos Hyde, for some reason, was splitting the carries with James Robinson. So Urban Meyer's incompetence, the poor utilization, yet he was still rushing for 4.7 yards per carry. Now, ultimately, does tear his Achilles, funny enough, against the Jets in 2021, and then, has an incredibly quick recovery. No one saw it coming because looking back to the preseason and throughout the summer of 2022, what was the storyline about James Robinson? When's he going to be back? What's he going to look like when he comes back? And honestly, he's been incredible. He looks like he was the James Robinson that was James Robinson before the injury and before Urban Meyer even got here. 4.2 yards per carry. He was getting touchdowns. He was a very productive player for the Jaguars. And ultimately, he just kind of started to fade back a little bit. Travis Etienne's been really hot the last 3 games. Didn't even get a single rushing attempt that counted on the stat sheet against the New York Giants in Week 7. So really, it's just a weird thing for James Robinson, and every single season for him, he's had a different thing going on. But, the deal's been done. What does it mean for the Jaguars? Well, this deal, like we talked about with compensation already, it's a decent deal for the Jaguars if you look at it. He's on an aging contract that's going to be up in 10 games. Are they going to re-sign James Robinson? I don't think so. I think there's going to be another team out there that would have wanted him and would have paid him more money than what the Jaguars would have wanted to give their second running back. Travis Etienne is really solidifying himself as the bell cow for the Jaguars. He had more carries than James Robinson. Had his first 100-yard game, and he's averaged, like I said, over 7 yards per carry in the last 3 games. You're looking at somebody that actually has home run ability every single game. Yes, I talked about how James Robinson had the huge 50-yard run against the Chargers in Week 3, but still, you're looking at a guy that every single game has home run capability because he's had 3 straight games of a 30-plus yard run, 2 of which were a 48 and a 49-yard run. So Travis Etienne doesn't match up all that well to James Robinson in terms of pass protection, but he matches up in almost every single category you can look at for a running back. Who's going to fill into that role? Is it going to be JaMycal Hasty that just kind of assumes those touches? Is it going to be Travis Etienne just takes those touches? Is it going to be Snoop Connor sees his first real action in a Jaguars jersey? That's going to all be up in the air until we get some official answers from Doug Peterson and his coaching staff. But to Jets fans, you're getting a hell of a running back. I say that, but at the same time, I'm okay with the Jaguars making this deal. He was, like I talked about, an aging running back coming off an Achilles injury. He had the nagging knee injury that Doug Peterson talked about. Probably wasn't going to be re-signed. And then at the same time, the running back room gets faster if he's not in it. JaMycal Hasty has home run capability. We saw it against the Colts. Travis Etienne, like I talked about, 3 games with a 30-yard carry or more. Would I have made the deal? No. I wouldn't have made the deal. I don't think I would have rather just had James Robinson through the end of the deal and then sending him off rather than just having another 6th-round pick. Yes, what was it? You used a 4th-round pick to go get Devin Lloyd, move up a little bit, but I do understand why they made the deal. 100% I do understand why they made it. All of the reasons I've mentioned before, and it's a weird thing. It's a deal that Jaguar fans don't like to see get done because it's a name that they're familiar with. There's not a lot of names that they're familiar with that they've seen be productive in a Jaguars jersey, and next thing you know, he's no longer on this team and he's in another jersey. So let me know what you guys think about this deal down in the comment section below. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts about it, have that conversation with you. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, go Jags, and best of luck to James Robinson.
Yeah, I just work here.